coming on now. Hello. Hi. Welcome. So let's start. It's Thursday night, 8 o'clock London time. Where are you? So in the comments beneath, if you're watching this on a laptop or an iPad or your phone, you should be able to just ping in and just say, hi, I'm also in London, or I'm in Liverpool, or I'm in Belfast, or I'm in New York, or wherever you are. I'm Sophie Kirkham. I am a hypnobirthing teacher in South London, in the UK. I'm a hypnobirthing mum, and I used the hypnobirthing tools 6.5 years ago. Hi, Anne, where are you from? Where are you based? Are you expecting a baby? Are you a birth worker, a midwife? So, we're waiting for people to join in. Hey, hi, Durham. Nice. So, it took us a little bit of a moment to get started. I anticipate people are going to join in as we carry on. So, tonight's Q&A, we've got some questions that people have sent in already during the day. So, we'll wait for a few more bods to join in before we start asking and answering. So, HypnoBirthing is a programme run by many teachers all around the globe. Its name, HypnoBirthing, you could credit to Marie Monganova in the States. Lots of us trained with her, and then some of us have gone indie. Hi from Surrey. Hi. A Mindful Mama hypnobirthing training with Sophie. Hi, Anne. So yeah, Grain. I'm sorry I don't know how to pronounce your name. I hope it's Grain. 5 weeks to go. So why don't we talk about the hypnobirthing month? Nobody's asked me, but it's really important. The hypnobirthing month, where you have 2 weeks either side. Hi Rachel, nice to have you here. Hypnobirthing month, when you have 2 weeks either side of your guesstimated due date. So you probably have an ultrasound scan in your pregnancy where they measure your baby and tell you when they think the baby's going to come. And it's always a really useful idea to actually tally that with when you think you might have conceived, and make sure that there's no discrepancy. So give yourself a couple of weeks either side of the guess date, and that way you can tell your friends and family that you're expecting a baby during a certain month, rather than saying on the 7th of July. Okay, so hello everybody. It's an evening of entertainment here on the HypnoBirthing group. What we want to do is answer your questions. So we've had a few through. I'm going to come to one that was sent through earlier. I'm just going to check it on my phone. I'm not checking my phone, but I'm checking my phone. So, Grain, I'm going to go through to some of the staple ones. The sort of FAQ type things that hypnobirthing teachers come across a lot. So, what's included in a hypnobirthing course? Okay, so generally speaking, you're looking at 4 or 5 sessions of 2.5 hours a session with your birth professional hypnobirthing teacher. The majority of them will be hypnotherapists. Some of them will have just done hypnobirthing training. And the course entails you understanding what the physiology of birth is, how the body works, how the womb works. That's really important, really important. Does that sound like the sort of stuff that you're doing on your courses? You're learning all about breathing, specialist breathing techniques, visualization, and also how to kind of manage the space within which you birth your baby, and what you'd like your caregivers, your medical caregivers or your midwives to do for you. And there are different models of care all around the globe. In the UK, it's generally midwife-led. In the US, it's a lot of birth is led by obstetricians, gynecologists. It's illegal to be a midwife in some of the states in the US and in Canada. There are some regions in Canada where it's illegal to be a midwife. Anyway, going off on a tangent, what does a hypnobirthing course entail? It entails hypnotherapy. So it includes hypnotherapy so that you can release the fear that you may have or any anxieties that you may have about birth. Because fear leads to tension, leads to pain. Fear leads to your body diverting blood away from your womb during labour, causing it to kind of cramp up and not work properly, slow labour down and even stop it. So you're going to be learning the calm, you're going to be learning the tools to stay calm and stay relaxed. Hi Hannah. Hannah, I'm just talking about what a hypnobirthing course entails. I know that Hannah is a hypnobirthing doula based in London. I would encourage people, I think one of the things I said this morning when we put up our little testy ad was that a lot of people are wanting to do hypnobirthing because they want a positive birth experience, and they understand that there's this program, this hypnobirthing thing, they can go and do these classes, and then a lot of people go, oh, it's too much money, I don't want to do it, it's too much money. So now I have to talk to you about why it's not too much money. So if you just think about the big money items that you're thinking of getting with your new little precious baby on the way, your new little person, have a think about how much you're going to spend on those, and then think about, you know, the kind of 12, 14 hours that you're going to have in class prepping for birth. I get a lot of second time round people coming to me to learn, and women who've had wanting a vaginal birth after a previous caesarean birth. And what they're interested in is how they could do it differently, okay? So they're doing things differently, and that's where the kind of hypnosis, the self-hypnosis bit comes in. And it's taking yourself into a very relaxed state and hypnotic state, and just introducing very gentle, positive language surrounding birth. So with these relaxation techniques and self-hypnosis techniques, you spend a good amount of time learning what it's all about. You practice with your tutor, your teacher, your hypnobirthing practitioner in class. I'm pausing for a moment because I'm talking. You practice with your teacher in class, and she's, or he, there are he's that do it. They're going to be working with you and perhaps fine-tuning hypnosis, working without just a generic script, but something that's fine-tuned to you. There's a huge difference between reading a book on how to do something and listening to a track. I think there's loads of evidence to support, you know, when you learn to drive a car, did you read a book on it, or did you actually go and learn it? So you learn the theory and then you did the practice. Having a baby is not like driving a car, I get that. But the kind of habitual responses, the deepened relaxation techniques, those responses, you can teach yourself and learn those. Okay, so other parts of the course, the fear release hypnosis. So the practitioner will do a long, lovely fear release hypnosis with you. Perhaps they'll record it for you so that you can listen to it again if you need to. Yeah. And I just want to check in on our audience, which is slowly growing. I know we've got about almost 6,000 people in the Hypnobirthing group, and if you want to plug and share this out so that we're not just a small tiny group. I know that people can watch this back later. I think it's important that try and get as many people involved as possible. So another question. So I hope I answered your query about what does hypnobirthing course entail, involve. Just having a look. So you will be able to watch this again. You'll be able to come back and look at this later and listen again. Okay, so somebody who wishes to remain anonymous, that's fine, has asked, saying, look, I'm feeling really motivated. I listened to my hypnobirthing audio, and then I will come across people who impact on my confidence. Maybe they say something that affects that level of confidence, or you lose confidence in yourself, and you're not sure that you'll have the strength to go down the hypnobirthing route. So something that I think might be really useful for you is to understand that when you're in labour and your body's working just like it's worked perfectly for 9 or 10 months to grow this kid, your body is designed to get your baby out. It's designed to do it. And I think there's a healthy degree of scepticism as well. It's okay to have a little bit of doubt, and I think that's part of your self-love. I think that's part of your self-love saying to you, is this okay? Is this hypnobirthing thing going to work for me? You've done your practice, you've done your course, you've been to check out where you're going to birth, and you need to, I don't want to tell you what to do, but it's really, really important to keep practicing on that and practicing on it. And yet when you go into labour, or maybe the few days running up to that mystery day when everything suddenly starts, it's okay to have a little bit of that, little bit of wonder about it. Is it going to work for me? Is it going to be okay? Hypnobirthing is not a psychoprophylaxis. It is not something that's going to make your body completely numb so you don't experience any sensation. That's not what hypnobirthing is. Hypnobirthing is getting rid of your fear, boosting your confidence so much that when you go into labour, you are confident and able to. Hi Megan, hi Jade, welcome. It's a programme that boosts your confidence and makes birthing so much easier. It's not rocket science. The calmer you are, the easier birthing is. The more scared and uptight and frightened you are, then that's okay. You can have a wobble. I think maybe this person asking, she's just asking, will I have the strength to do it? Here's another little affirmation for you. It can't beat you because it's your body doing it. It's the strength of your body doing it. So it can't be stronger than you. Something that I find very useful, and if any of you are doing kind of fitness like pregnancy yoga or pregnancy Pilates classes, if you've got a good teacher, hopefully she's got you squatting against a wall, leaning against a wall and squatting down. And then, hi Sarah, hi Jackie. It's nice to see you. I've just noticed I can say hello to you like this, I think. Hello everybody. If you have a good pregnancy yoga teacher or hypnobirthing teacher / Pilates teacher, if they get you to do some physical stuff in class, then it's really useful to get into a situation with your body where you can notice muscles working. So squat is really useful for that, and you can notice the big muscles in your legs working. Maybe you can time it for a minute or a minute and a half, a bit like a surging womb. Get me? So you get a surging womb sensation, but it's actually in your leg muscles as you squat against the wall, and you practice your surge breathing with that. And I think once you can do that for 90 seconds, you're like, okay, that's fine, because surges come in waves and you get a little rest in between every surge. Hope this is helpful, guys. I was ever so nervous. I probably wouldn't say that normally, but I was very nervous about sharing this live. But I suppose it's a bit like introducing a class. So, Kelly, hi. Feel ready and confident. Finding it difficult to find the time to practice now. I'm 32 weeks and have a toddler. I hope it's all there in the mind when it happens. Kelly, yeah, toddler, busy time. Can I make a suggestion that's something you could try for a couple of weeks? Would that be okay, Kelly? Let me know. Hi, Sophie. Hi, nice to meet you. I liked your book. Sophie Fletcher. So Sophie had wrote, I think, I don't know single-handedly, I don't know, but the Mindful Mama programme. So one of the questions there from Kelly was, hi Anne. Anne, can I just check, do you get your pregnant mums to do stuff where they're working their bodies really hard and get them to breathe through the sensation? Do you do that? Hi. Knowledge is empowering, Jade says. You bang on the money there. The more you know, the more you understand. So often you get, so somebody posting earlier, Rachel, can't remember her surname, asking for help and support because she had a really, really challenging birth the first time round. And I did ask her, guys, to just soften her language a little bit, because that's what's expected in hypnobirthing. Soft, gentle, positive language. We can listen compassionately to people's stories, but we want them Tan, so is Kelly. Hi. Hi, there was a glitch in the matrix. This is part 2. Hi. So in the HypnoBirthing group this evening, you've got me, Sophie, sharing some knowledge, answering some questions. Hi, Tracy. Yeah, I know we dropped off and we've come back again. Right, Kelly, you were there. I hope you're coming back. Is a yoga teacher, and I'd asked her whether she used sensation testing poses in yoga for people to breathe through them, to breathe through the sensation of the womb working really well. It always kind of worries me when people go into labour or they're heading towards having a kid and they're full of fear and they don't understand how the body works. I came to HypnoBirthing for exactly that reason. I was like 28, 29 weeks pregnant with my little boy, Fred, and I had no idea how birth worked. I knew there were these things called contractions, which we reframe as surges or waves, but I didn't get how the baby comes out of your vagina. I just didn't really understand that. All I knew was that thing, you know, the worst position in the world to give birth in, the whole lying on your back with the legs in stirrups thing. I didn't want to do that. And I just didn't really understand. And so luckily, I picked up a copy of HypnoBirthing. Hi, Anne. Marie Mongan's book. And that meant that I could learn about the muscles of the womb. Hey. Hi, everybody. We dipped out. I don't know, some kind of broadband thing probably. Never mind. Hello, welcome back. I'm just checking in on questions because this is the first time I've done this. Facebook Live. So I'm just checking in. We've got some helper outers. So Andy, one of our admins, my partner. Tracy, she's put her little lad to bed and she's giving us a hand. Tracy practices in North London. Leonie, who's out in Kent, so for the people who aren't in the UK, Kent's like southeast London. It's quite close to France, put it that way. There's a bit of sea in the middle. Right, so I have to remind people regularly that you can watch this back from the start afterwards, okay? So as more of you join, you might be thinking, oh, I missed the beginning. That's cool. There's part 1, then we crashed at the end. Now we're back with part 2. All right, so Kelly, you've got a 32-week sized baby. You want to practice. I hope Kelly's here. Are you there, Kelly? Are you back? Hello? Is she there? Hi, Joanna. You didn't realise there's a huge organisation. Thought it was just a mummies group. Yeah, it's a big group of people. A lot of birth workers and pregnant women from around the world sharing. I'm looking for Kelly. I hope she hasn't had to go and look after her toddler. Hi, Kelly. Right, so Kelly, I was going to suggest things that you could do maybe over the next couple of weeks, rather than finding time when your toddler isn't awake and, you know, I think you need to work maybe learning to relax deeply when your toddler is with you. So maybe for the first 7 days of you sitting there quietly for 10 minutes and just practicing breathing and making sure your body is completely lovely, relaxed and connecting with baby. Maybe your toddler's going to climb all over you. But place one of your hypnosis tracks on loudspeaker so that your kid can hear in. And maybe come the 6th or 7th go, if you model that calmness and that sitting down and or laying down, probably want to lie down, get your feet up, right? Then I would suggest that might work. And with the light touch massage, maybe you've got somebody who can do that for you, and have your kid around to model that to him or her. Got some more news here. Okay, Kelly, is that useful? Hi. Do you think you could give that a whirl? Hi, Sam. Hi, I'm 35 weeks with my 3rd baby and starting to feel nervous. Finding it hard to find time to practice. Just talking about that with Kelly. She's got a little one. only one. You've got two. Yeah. Would that work well for you? Would it work? Would you be able to kind of say to your kid, right, okay, now we're going to do some lion breathing or something like that, and sit down and do some of your surge breathing? Any more questions, guys? I can answer your question, kind of how does it work a little bit more. We've kind of, in the first session, I covered more or less what's in a course. The how does it work part is, oh, Kelly, good, give it a go. And I mean, at least like 7 days, just go, right, I don't know, maybe after lunch when you're having that kind of oxytocic release from digesting food, and maybe your child's a little bit more relaxed, and maybe just draw the curtains a little bit to darken the space, a bit like your birthing space. Pop a track on, and both of you sit down. I can't guarantee your kid isn't going to crawl all over you for the first 5-6 days, but maybe by day 7 might work. Okay, so there's a sort of technical bit that I wanted to go through. Okay, Natalie, I'll come to you in a sec with your question about hypnobirthing in hospital. Technical question. The uterus is a muscle. How does it work? Can I just have a sort of, I don't know, show of hands? If you just give me some of those thumbs up on the recording, if you've learned about how your womb works and why calm, relaxedness and confidence is so important in birthing. So it'd be really good if you just stick a thumbs up. Oh, no. Okay, all right. I thought there was a thing you could press, like you press like this. I know Andy's pressing hearts. That's very sweet. Okay. Oh, there's one. Cool. Hello, Grace. Welcome. Right, I wanted to talk about how your womb works a little bit, because that's massively important, and it's something that's covered in a hypnobirthing course. And the womb is a bag of muscle, really, really thick at term. The muscle at term is, thumbs up, Avril. Hi, Natalie. So you have learned how it works. Oh, Alia, I'm very pleased that you had a wonderful birthing experience. That's really positive. Thank you for sharing. Feel free to post your story in our group. We have a big group. So your womb, okay? So if you're sitting down at the moment, just put your hands on your abdomen. You don't have to be pregnant to do this. If you're a birth companion, if you're a dad or woman, sorry, have to be all inclusive. If you're a single parent, doesn't matter. Hands on your abdomen, and just notice that inside there is an amazing organ, the uterus, the womb. The womb is, it's just it's just something that you grow new human beings in, which is phenomenally brilliant. If you think to yourself when you wake up in the morning, I'm growing a new human being inside me, that's amazing. It doesn't get much more awesome than that. It's an amazing thing that you're doing. And when the time comes and your baby's ready, I'm going to come to Rebecca's question. You have to remind me on Rebecca and on Sam, I think, practicing. I'm just talking to Andy. I'm keeping it together for you guys, but there's quite a lot going on. Could you prompt me on Rebecca and I think it was Sam. Amazing organ. Womb. Okay, so some of you have done hypnobirthing courses and some of you know that you've got a super duper turbo power womb. What does that mean, turbo power? It means it's muscular. So when I was trying to figure out how's my baby going to get out, you know, he's growing to a reasonably good size. He's ready to be earth side. That's the birth term, earth side. It means born, not inside you anymore. Okay, so imagine that you've got this big, huge, thick, muscular bag, which is the womb, and inside that you've got the placenta attached somewhere. If you have a look on your notes, it will tell you where it's attached, at the front or at the back. And then your little baby has all its goodies are supplied to it through the cord from the placenta, and then it's inside those membranes, those bags. and then there's that lovely fluid around, and then your little cherub is growing, okay? So when the time's right, generally speaking, it'll be head down most of the time. And actually, Andy, it worked better when you just popped it on there and wrote it on the screen. I want you to know that the muscles of the womb work with the hormone oxytocin. Oxytocin is an amazing hormone. I'd suggest to you that you and your birth companion, you go away and you look into what is oxytocin in the context of birth and feeding babies and breastfeeding and bonding. It's a fascinating subject. Okay, so now you've got your hands on your tummy, and if you're a bloke, I don't know if we've got any blokes watching, but hello. It would be really nice if we had a few more men in the group, wouldn't it? So just notice that that's an awesome little organ that grows bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. Aha! So that's how the baby gets out. So you've got a big strong bag of muscle that's going to basically hoik itself open at the bottom and then squeeze down and out. Hoik's probably about the strongest word that I would use to describe the process of labour. Okay, see you later, Sophie. You can always watch back. Sophie's off, she's got kids to collect. So, thinking about how your womb works well, the body hard at work, the mother relaxed, means that this super duper big womb muscle is plied with blood. The brain is sending that blood there, and it's sending the hormones that are going to get your kid out as well. And the fact that you've done all of this work to get rid of any fear or anxiety surrounding the birth of your baby so that you're in your best state for birthing means that your main focus of blood in the body is sent to the womb so that it can open and then squeeze your baby out. Probably find that in hypnobirthing we don't tend to talk about stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. We talk about thinning and opening, and then if you're in one of my classes, launch mode. Yeah, that's not strictly classically hypnobirthing term, but yeah. Hi Rachel, we crashed out. Nice to have you back. Right, Avril. Hi. Okay. So we know for a womb to work well, during labour, body releases lots of useful hormones, oxytocin and endorphins, and they also help mum to relax. It's a really positive loop. And we know that being in an environment that is safe, quiet, private, without too many disturbances, gentle lighting, soft music playing, if that's your thing, maybe in the bath, spending time at home, not just going straight into the hospital. Those are little nuggets right there that I just threw right out at you. Avril, for your birth companion, I'll say those again with a bit more detail. Something that I was always a little bit unsure about sharing with people about hypnobirthing birth plans. So if you're not, somebody else was asking about hospital, going to hospital to birth a baby, and somebody else was asking about what do birth companions do. For me, oh, cheers. Thanks very much, Jane. That's really, really cool. Jane says, this is brilliant. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I'm doing my best, giving my best. Hypnobirthing changed your life. Yes, changed mine too. I would not be sitting here now if it hadn't changed my life. It's a brilliant programme. So, right, Avril's birth partner and anybody else. Okay, so this is the crucial bit now. I was always a little bit cautious about recommending this, and then I was like, I keep hearing midwives saying this over and over and over again, so I'm okay with sharing this. Stay at home for as long as you can. When you go into labour, stay at home. You go when you're in established labour, when things are really happening, when they're fluid, when you notice a pattern of surges that last a good amount of time, that are getting stronger and longer. Because otherwise, probably what will happen is you'll arrive at your birth centre or your hospital and your kind midwives will say, go home, it's not time yet. Now, okay, there is a caveat. Hypnobirthing mums, obviously, not freaking out and panicking. They're staying calm. They know about Panic Street. They want to stay on Calmsville. Calmsville. Okay, so focused on that. I think it's worth understanding when that is. You can always phone and speak to the midwives. You can always do that from home. You could be chilling in the bath, Avril, and your lovely supportive birth companion can be doing phone calls to midwives, updating them, checking in on stuff. But you might find that you spend quite a few hours at home first and then go in, which saves you the hassle of going in and then coming back home again. Especially if it's the middle of the night, you could have had a bit of sleep. You could have like a surge and sleep, surge and sleep. Sometimes people are very uncomfortable with the idea of labouring at home. They're planning to birth in hospital or a birth centre. I must talk about the difference between birth centre and a labour ward. Remember to do that. A quick drink, cheers. Caffeinated. Right, okay, thinking about when you go to hospital or not and how long to stay at home, it's really important. Hypnobirthing for VBAC. Okay. So, birth companions, you have quite an important role to play. And as the mother is staying calm, and as you are staying calm, and the womb is calm, and the baby is calm, and you're working with your breathing, and you get into your groove, it's really useful to say who somebody's around 35 weeks now and getting the jitters. I can't remember the name. Too many things to look at. There's lots of questions coming in. Thank you so much, people, for joining in. Really appreciate you joining in. We want to make it for you as much as possible. So I'm trying to get through your questions but not rush them. So birth companions, I would make it an absolute priority. Cheers. I would make it an absolute priority for you to actually do a dress rehearsal run from your home to the birth centre. Don't just leave it till your partner's in labour. Go and do it prior. The majority of birth centres will let you pop in. I'd recommend that you always turn up with a gift for the midwives. And midwives work their butts off for us. They're amazing. Always go with some lovely token of your appreciation. I recommend nice tea, possibly cake or fruit or all of those things. Okay, right. There are 3 places that you could possibly, I know there are questions, but I just want to talk about places that you can birth. At home, in a midwifery-led unit, or on labour ward. Now, if you're in the States or Eastern Europe, I think you're probably kind of more likely to be doctor-led labour ward, where that strategy of kind of staying at home for as long as you can is really useful and helpful. Hi, Leonie. Leonie's just joined in. Hi, Tracy. I'm just harping on about staying at home as long as you can before you go to have your baby, and I think that's a message that birth companions need to understand and appreciate, so that you don't have to then turn around and go home again, and it's probably less likely to end up in intervention. So, right, is that useful? Avril's birth companion, is that got you thinking? When are you going to do the dress rehearsal run? So, Rachel, what to say to people who are not sure about hypnobirthing but think it's a bit way out? Yeah. What are the common misconceptions and the physiological effects, e.g. not wondrous? Wow. Whoa, pardon?
Wondrous woo.
Wondrous woo. What's that mean? I don't know. It's like a... Okay. What to say to people who aren't sure about hypnobirthing. Okay, so the staple answer, so if you're talking to a journalist or something about hypnobirthing, you'd say, right, yeah, well, I suppose the name does sound a little bit like that. But hypnosis and hypnotherapy is long-standing, very effective. We know that there's clinical hypnosis, there's a Royal College of... There's a medical college of hypnotherapists. I can't remember its proper title right now. I think you need to understand that what we're doing is preparing women for calm birth. When you change the way you think about birth, the way you birth changes. That's Marie Mongan's quote. It's so important. If you want to know more, but keep it simple. So, I don't know, you've got a sceptical mother-in-law. I don't know, might be. And they're like, oh, it doesn't make any sense. I don't know. Just explain to them those simple things. Although it sounds different, hypnobirthing is about normalising birth and creating as positive a birth experience as possible. It teaches us what happens during labour. It has great breathing techniques. Now that will chime with a lot of people. People know calming your breathing down, deepening your breathing down helps to manage your state. A lot of people appreciate that. Relaxation techniques to keep mum relaxed, make birth easier, keep the baby calm, give something to the birth companion to do. So say you're a pregnant woman, you've got a birth companion who's skeptical, and they're like, oh no, come on, that sounds like nonsense. So you can go, well, there's actually loads of stuff that you can do for me. There's this massage, there's the hypnosis, there's these deepening anchors that you can learn to help me. Oh, son just dropping something on the floor upstairs, frightening me half to death. Right. Hypnobirthing babies tend to be more chilled. Hey, that's a good one, isn't it? So I hope these are useful answers, Rachel. That it creates prenatal bonding as well. So it gets you in touch with your kid before they're here. And for mums who are expecting maybe their second or third or fourth or fifth baby, maybe they don't get so much time to connect with that little bump because they're busy looking after their children that they've already got. Hypnobirthing gives you that practice time to just chill out and connect with your kid, even if it's just for half an hour, 5 or 6 times a week. Gives you that chance. Thanks, Avril. Taking notes. Very excited to welcome our first baby, we shall do the rehearsal this week. Oh, where are you based? 36 weeks. 36 weeks. Yeah, definitely get your practice done. Go do your dress. 1. Hi everyone. Woohoo. Back again. Sorry. It's 2016, but we've got some broadband issues or something. I don't know. I think Facebook give us half an hour. You don't want to know about that. You want to know about hypnobirthing. Hi, if you've just joined, it's Sophie. I'm one of the people that runs this hypnobirthing group on Facebook. We've got almost 6,000 members of pregnant women, their birth workers, their partners, and we're trying to get through as many of your questions as possible. So I was just talking through the answers to Rachel's question about, you know, what do you say to people who go, hypnobirthing? Well, Tracy and I are in the process of putting together a survey, aren't we? And I would really like to be able to give you that data, but my hunch is that you can generally retort to somebody, do you know what? There are a lot more calm births using hypnobirthing techniques. Birth has become highly medicalised. Generation upon generation upon generation, men and women have developed intense hang-ups and fears about birthing. And hypnobirthing is about busting myths, boosting confidence, helping you to understand and be prepared for birth so that when it happens, you're not like, and panicking, because that's not what you want. No. You want to look forward to meeting your baby in a calm, strong, confident way. So I'm going to go on to VBAC. So I don't want to call you a VBAC. You're not a VBAC. VBAC, for those of you who don't know, is a vaginal birth after caesarean section. So caesarean section is an operation where the baby's born in theatre from mum's belly rather than through the vagina. And some women choose to birth vaginally. In fact, there's evidence to support that it's safer to have a vaginal birth after caesarean rather than a repeat caesarean. And doesn't matter where you're based in the world, you can do this research. We all have access to the internet, and we have hopefully access without too many questions or phone calls to a midwife, somebody who we can talk to. In the UK, we have midwife-led antenatal care, and more hospitals, especially where I'm based in London, we've got more and more hospitals with consultant midwives. Yay! Consultant midwives, the same rank as consultant doctor, obstetrician, surgeons, and they run VBAC clinics. They run vaginal birth after caesarean clinics, and they tend to refer a lot of those women to hypnobirthing. So that women can process their first birth and move on to this different birth, this new baby, this new experience. So I've worked with some VBAC women. One of them's on here. Hi Helen, welcome. Vaginal birth after caesarean is a big deal. I think you could talk about healing birth. You could talk about women wanting to experience a vaginal birth, perhaps. It's hard to say what people's goals are. What hypnobirthing does is it educates you about how your body works. Ages ago, somebody mentioned in the thread that knowledge is power. The more you know, the more you understand your body, the more that you believe in its ability to birth a baby, the more that you set up so that you know your birth companion's going to be stood next to you, boosting you. They're going to be really, they've got your back. They're not going to be saying scary things. You know, to surround yourself with people who have got cervix opening personalities. Really important. Many VBAC women may have experienced, I don't want to call you VBAC women, many women who are looking forward to vaginal birth may have experienced previous challenging, let's call it that, births where the lights were all on, they're on their back, they've struggled, maybe they had an epidural and everything slowed down. There's lots and lots of stuff that you can look at and you can pick apart, but it's about addressing this next baby, this next birth. I think in my mind I'm thinking about suggesting to you the advantages of a vaginal birth over a cesarean, the advantages of hypnobirthing over just winging it. Rachel, you asked, how supportive are UK midwives when it comes to hypnobirthing? So Rachel Clark, right. Find yourself some who are, is my answer. I think you'll probably find that if you phone up, literally just phone up and speak to your midwife and say, who can I talk to about having a vaginal birth this time? I had a cesarean section birth last time. And get in the know. A useful thing for you to do would be probably join your positive birth movement group, and if there isn't one, set one up. So we'll give you the link to that at the end of this. The positive birth movement is run by people like me. We're not trying to sell our courses. What we're doing is running and facilitating a forum where we can discuss stuff like vaginal birth after cesarean, and then you get in the know and you meet more and more birthy people. I'd encourage you to, if you're a woman wanting to have a vaginal birth and use hypnobirthing and have a different experience of birth for you and your baby, I'd encourage you to really build relationships with your midwives. And I know that we don't necessarily see the same midwife each check-up, and you might not know the midwife who's going to be by your side when you're having a baby or in the room. It's not impossible to build those relationships. It just means you need to go along and check out the labour wards and see if they've got any rooms that are more relaxed, more comfortable, and see what works for you. Notice the environments. Build those relationships and start now. Don't wait until you're 38 weeks. Don't wait till you're in labour. When you're in labour, it's not time to start negotiating. It's way too late. You're having a baby. So it's much better. So top tip for the women who are looking forward to VBACing. VBACing. Can we come up? Can someone give me some alternative words to use? Because VBACing is not the one. Rachel, help. What should we call it? Birth. Okay. Thank you. Reframe. Okay. I've been doing this for a while now, guys. I'm trying to stay nice and calm and talk through all of this information so it's super useful to you, and you can go away tonight and write a few notes, and then tomorrow there'll be going to be birth centres bombarded with questions from people. When can I come and have a look? I'd like to come and have a look around. I'd like to birth my baby at your birth centre. Okay, so if you were a woman who's going to birth her baby after a previous cesarean, there are some things that hypnobirthing can do to help you, like boost your confidence and get rid of the fear and the anxiety. And that doesn't just apply to you. If you've got the same husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, birth companion that you had with you last time, they need to do the work as well, okay? They've got to be on board with it. I'm going to stick my neck out and say this, if you don't think your birth companion is going to be on board with it, then have a look at Doula UK, or wherever you are in the world. Doula is a professional birth companion, and it's worth the money. Perhaps you could even find a mental doula, who's somebody who's doing their first sort of dozen or so births before they're fully fledged and professional, and they would charge slightly less. So having a doula by your side in the room supporting you and your birth companion so you can remain calm, and perhaps you hire them to help support you in your birthing wishes and just communicate with your midwives. I'm just going to reiterate that midwives are I'd say the majority of them are so supportive. They really, really want to support you in your birthing wishes and your birthing choices. Yeah. Giving birth or natural birth or vaginal birth. So yes, sorry about the feedbacking thing. Hey, this is live. I'm human. I'm going to mess up occasionally, and that's okay. All right. What else have we got question-wise coming in? Practice, and perineal massage. Lindsay, help, tips. So, perineal massage, what's that? Perineal massage and stretching. I'll model it for you. If I just move back a little bit, I'll model it using my hands. Oh, a smiley face. Thanks for the smiley face and the heart. Who's doing that? Is that you? Is that my partner? I don't know. Right. Lindsay, if you're there, it's I'm going to start talking about perineal massage and stretching. I'll put a link on at the end, and we'll put a whole load of links together for you, which will lead to... I've recorded a video on YouTube, which I've actually done subtitles to. I did that last night, for anyone who's hard of hearing. I don't know about transcribing this, though. It might take me a bit longer. Perineal massage is something that you do from 34 weeks because the hormones that soften your body ready for birthing to help the pelvis to be flexible, to help the vagina to be stretchier, more open, they start to really incrementally, you produce more from 34 weeks. So it's time to start working the vaginal outlet, the opening of the vagina, and the perineum and the labia. So, if I model it with my hand, so if we say that this hole here represents the vagina, okay, you with me? Thanks, Abby, thank you. And this bit here would be the perineum. So your bum, your anus, bum hole, is here, and up here would be the clitoris, and then the labia be either side. Got it? You with me? Okay. So, you have to have a wash first, okay? So if you're not in the bath or the shower, you have to wash yourself first, okay? So do that first. If you're not in the bath or the shower, you need a lubricant. So you can use coconut oil, or you could use olive oil, something simple, okay? And just put a little bit on your thumb, put your thumb inside the vagina and stretch it down, okay? Stretch it down and hold it. And maybe initially you go, oh, that's weird, I don't like that. Fine, you're in the majority of women who also feel that way, all right? But vaginas are brilliant, wonderful things. We're very lucky. They're wonderful things. We've all enjoyed them. If you're pregnant, that's probably part of the whole enjoying a vagina thing. So just realise that when you're doing this perineal massage, you need to be in a relaxed and calm state. If you're stressed out, I've got to do my perineal massage, it's not as effective. All right, so put your thumb in, take it to a deep stretch, and then work your way round the vaginal outlet, okay, to the opening of your vagina. You're only going in up like to the knuckle of your thumb, all right, and you're stretching all the way round. It's a little bit fiddlier once you get to the top, kind of underneath the clitoris, around there, because you've got your pubic bone, like the front of your pelvis bit, so that's a bit fiddlier. And you work all the way around, stretching. You could put your 2 fingers in. You could put 2 fingers in and stretch round like that and up to the top. And then labia. So you could, in your thumb and 4 fingers, you could stretch round and down to work and prepare the labia, the lips of your vulva. Okay? Helen's kids are desperate to know what she's watching. Just watching perineal massage and stretching informative video. Lots of people want to watch this. My YouTube has been watched by nearly 120,000 people. It's very popular in the Middle East apparently because it's not an actual dummy. It's just my hand that I'm representing it with. Okay, so you've done this all the way around, okay, several times, and then you're working with both fingers if you have a partner, I suggest you get them to do it for you as well, okay? It's a labour of love. It's probably not something that you'd have them do for you normally. It's really useful. It's not just about preparing and stretching, okay? It's about you acquainting yourself with the sensations, the pressure, the stretching, ready for birth, okay? All right, notice I didn't use any scary language. That's all part of hypnobirthing. We're not about scaring people, we're about empowering you. Women are strong. I want you to know that. Okay, so you do your perineal massage. The reason that you have to work the labia, the lips of the vulva as well, is because when your baby's being born, they stretch as well. They form like a little crown around your baby's head. How's that? Okay, so is that enough on perineal massage, Lindsay? Yes, no, more? For me, it feels like it seems like enough on the old perineal massage. Okay, next questions.
So Lindsay was recommending perineal massage.
Oh, Lindsay was recommending perineal massage. You did lots of it. Okay, well done, Lindsay, and it paid off, I'm sure.
And Tracy's put your video on the comments.
So Tracy's just put that in there. Okay, so guys, we've got about 4 minutes until we're due to finish. I just want to touch on something that comes up time and time again, and that's people saying, I fall asleep when I'm listening to my hypnosis. Okay? And they worry because they haven't had a conscious listen. So they're like, I remember the hypnosis, I remember it bringing me down into a relaxed state, but then I don't remember anything else. Well, that's kind of how hypnotherapy works. It can just speak to your unconscious, and you'll notice the changes afterwards. You'll be like, something's different. I feel very positive about birth today. I feel kind of bolstered, and it's okay. I'm looking forward to the birth of my baby. That should be ringing around in your head. Something that Tracy said to me actually, which I think is such a great example of how our listening doesn't stop. It's working even when you're asleep or in a deep hypnotic state, okay? Imagine that the radio is on or the TV's on, or the police helicopter's flying over, or something along those lines, or there's somebody down like next door doing a loft conversion with drills or whatever, but you're asleep and you're dreaming about that sound. And then you wake up and you notice it and you're like, oh, I was just dreaming about an earthquake, and you've got the news in Japan on, so I suggest you don't listen to the news when you're sleeping. So that's evidence for me that everything's going in and that your unconscious mind can interpret and use it. And hypnobirthing is really focused on you holding your boundaries and saying, look, I'm going to be really calm and focused on a positive birth experience no matter what turn my birthing takes. I really, really am focused on this, and I just won't entertain, I won't listen to, I won't support kind of scaremongering, and that's why I think probably needs to be a bit stronger in the group on the use of language, because I'm maybe not as gentle as it should be. Right, as we're rounding up now, coming to an end, and before it times us out, I just wanted to say that we've been running the group for a while now. I reckon it's coming up for about 4 years, and as a hypnobirthing teacher and practitioner and mum, and for all the other admins, so shout out to Andy and to Tracy and Leonie